Yo, neighborhood niggas checking in, good in the hood. And today I want to give y'all a little story about myself. Basically, give y'all a little background on how my spiritual journey started and what were some key factors into my, I guess you could say, um, elevation or rise in frequency or whatever. Um, so let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so my spiritual journey really took a turn in 2015. I had a friend, and he basically came across some information on like secure party crediting. Basically, that's information about your straw man account, social security information, and things like that. And he hit me up one day, and he was just like, "Yo, bro." I was living in Birmingham, Alabama at the time. He was in Atlanta. And he was like, "Yo, bro, I got this information, bro. It's gonna change your life." But I was the other, so I was like, "All right, bet." So we link up and everything, and that's what really started this process. At that time, I was learning about like monoatomics. I was learning about um, certain things that was kind of scary, bro. I can't lie. Like at that time, I was really kind of scared about some of the things we was touching on because it was all really new. Like Freemasonry and like finding out that this world is corrupt and ran by all these different people. Like it was real. Like in a sense, it kind of was scary. So um, time started going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I had been through a lot. That year was very. It was a very challenging year, and time moving on. I'd say fast forward to like 2018. Um, well, I really say 2018, 2019. Um, I moved back to Texas, and I was living with my parents at the time. My grandma was staying with us too, and she has like some memory loss things. So I was helping take care of her, um, and I was basically like I got to the point where I already had stopped really being on a Christian tip. That's really where I really kind of started off on. I was a Christian. I was Baptist or whatever, and around 2018, really 2017, 2018, I kind of like went away from that. I was more so on the Hebrew Israelite tip. Because I knew there was more, and at that time it was really hard to really categorize myself, but I know that was a path that was very interesting to me, because it was still like ties to the Bible, and then it was giving you more insight on things like Dead Sea Scrolls and um, other, the Apocrypha, like just giving you information about things that were deeper than what we were always taught in church. Okay, so from there, I had a conversation with this girl, and she was like really into like um, Egyptian history and stuff. She called herself a goddess and everything. And although at that time we didn't really agree, I had a conversation with two women at the actually. That's why I love women because what I'm saying, y'all really helped me elevate, and that's kind of the path I'm giving back to y'all now. But I had a conversation with two women, and one woman was somebody else just really interested. I was like, why is she like posting the stuff she posting and stuff like that? And I didn't really agree with what she was telling me, but what I'm saying, I found it interesting. And then the other woman, we used to kind of date or whatever, but we had went our separate ways, and she just knew there was a lot to this life that wasn't true. And then she was already saying at that time like, yo, like we didn't come from man and stuff, we come from women and this the other. She was very passionate about it, but I was very passionate about information I knew too, so it was clashing, what I'm saying. So long story short, towards the end of 2019, I was working, what I'm saying? I was the youngest person in my job, but I was pretty much managing that thing. Like, I was doing everything at that job. And I was clocking in like 50, 60 hours a week. But I'm also a musician, so, I was making music and stuff at that time too. I bring my laptop to work. On my breaks, I'm making beats and stuff like that. I'm always writing and everything, like doing that. And, that's exactly what I do when I got off work. So, towards the end of, I say towards like the summer of 2019, I started traveling more. I went to Houston, Texas. I went to Colorado, Denver, Colorado, and I was just noticing things. And it was just different atmospheres in those different places that I was going to. And it got to a point where I was like, okay, it's time for me to move back home. which is Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? I'm from DeKalb County, you know what I'm saying? East side, you feel me? But basically it got to a point where I was like, all right, I need to go home. So um I started seeing a lot of nines, okay? And if you know anything about angel numbers, you know that triple nine is basically like the end. It's like the end is you're about to basically go into the next part of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's like things come to a conclusion. It's like ascension. You know what I'm saying? The number nine represents the sequence of life. You know, the Fibonacci sequence. And number nine is actually my favorite number. You know, I was born February 9th, 1995. So there's three nines in my born day, you know. And even when I was a part of a frat, and even when I pledged, you know, I was number nine on my line. So the number nine was always significant to me. And when I was thinking, you know, at the time when I was in Texas, it had been about 8 coming on 9 years since I had moved from Atlanta, Georgia. So when I started putting all that into consideration, I had to talk with this another goddess, and she basically, you know what I'm saying, just made it, she just like encouraged me to go ahead and just make that move. So I was like, all right, cool. Now, granted, I had no idea what I was gonna do when I came down here. You feel me? I had no idea what job I was gonna get. I just had a homeboy, and you know he was getting ready to, his lease was getting ready to end, and you know Atlanta rent ain't really that cheap. So we was like, bet, let's go ahead and you know what I'm saying, move in together. And it just happened to align like to where I could just slide in, you know what I'm saying, without any type of really hardships on that. So I just told my job, you know, I was just like, I put in my 2 weeks, and I was just like, yeah, I'm moving. So basically, I started getting my stuff together. You know what I'm saying? I moved down here, no idea where I was gonna work, no idea what I was gonna do. I just knew I was supposed to be in the A. So I had a couple bands. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't have much, honestly. Like just enough to like pay my first couple months off on rent. You know what I mean? Just have some food here and there. So I get down here, and that's when everything started to excel. Like, cause I was in the point, you know, at my old job, I was in the point where I was telling everybody, yo, we gotta chase our dreams, bro. We gotta you know accomplish our dreams, bro. Like we gotta stop working these jobs that we don't see no progress in. You know what I'm saying? These corporate jobs and stuff, like people always you know micromanaging you. Like we got to chase our passions, because our passions are going to supply everything that we need. And I was always that type of guy. So at this point I was like, you know what, I've been talking like I've been like, you know, I'm about this life, so let me go ahead and get about this life. So when I get to Atlanta, first thing I did, first thing I really did though, I tried to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Like any sane person at that time coming out of their, you know, essentially their awakening in a sense. So I'm like trying to find a job. I'm overqualified for every single job that I applied to. Overqualified, but none of the jobs hired me. So at that point, um, I was just like, okay, this is a sign. Like I need to do what I really want to do. So I was reaching out to studios. I reached out to every studio in Atlanta, and I just went to this one studio called Treble Clef, and I just walked in there one day with my laptop, had my bag, had my laptop open. I was gonna show them like some songs. I was gonna show them some beats. I was ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting down waiting. So one of the owners walked in. He was like, "Hey, how can I help you?" I was like, "Yo, I'm looking to intern. Um, blah 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 blah. This the other." And so he just seen the drive in me, and he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Hey, talk to the manager of the interns real quick. We're gonna go ahead and put you on." Blah blah blah. Blah. So I was like, "All right, cool." So as soon as that happened, you know what I'm saying, I'm in there. I'm like, okay, cool. It's my first step into the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Really, it wasn't really my first step, because there's a lot that happened. You know, I've been really kind of mingling in the industry a little bit, but it was like really the first thing that was towards my passion, where I was like, all right, I'm all in. So I had basically I had to go. I had set it to where I would go there every morning. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, the studio. If you ever work in the studio, you know what I'm saying. You know how the studio get. You feel me? Like it be like at night, it be like a club almost. You come in the morning, I'm cleaning that whole thing up. Like, you know, you ever heard like Diddy story, whatever, talking about how he used to come in there, bro? I'm talking about I used to come in there, sweep, mop, do all that, bro, every morning, bro, every morning. And I'm interning, so I'm not getting paid for this at this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing this because, you know, godliness is next to cleanliness. And it was a lot of negative energy in the stew. You know what I'm saying? I can't even really get into everything that was going on in there, but long story short, I started meeting some people, some interesting people in there, and I had a conversation with this one dude. You know, as I'm doing this, when I got back to Atlanta, I also met up with my friend again. You know what I'm saying? That I started this path on really like 2015, and you know he was putting me on different breathing techniques. We were talking about different metaphysical stuff. You know what I'm saying, about seeing different things. We was talking about just a lot, you know what I'm saying? And just hanging out with him was really helping rise my vibrations as well. So as I was in the studio, um, I was, seeing different things in a sense. So it was this one dude came in and he was just sat down, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, he this whole, you know what I'm saying, hood dude for me, he got talking about, he's like, I got like two bodies, you know what I'm saying? He told me like whole story, dude got like two bodies and all this crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? But me, I'm just a chill dude, so I'm just like, okay, cool, like, chopping it up. And basically, I had said, I was like, hey, you ever heard anything about gens? And he was like, how'd you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, eyes got wide. I was like, how'd you know? Like, and I was like, what you mean? He was like, yeah, bro. Like, basically, I found out that he had a contract with a gen. He didn't even really know about. He didn't even know what that shit was. It's just something on my spirit told me, ask him. You know what I'm saying? So, at that point, he was telling me all this different stuff. There was another girl over there too, and she was telling me how her grandma was like a witch and all this crazy stuff, and she didn't know that until later on. So as I'm having these conversations, I'm like, whoa, like this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? Like it just was like dawning on me, which I knew to a certain extent, but not like having random conversations with random people and they just confirming, you know what I'm saying, this thing. So I was just, continually working there. And I had met this dude. He was a producer. And he came in there, you know what I'm saying? He had, had pretty cool energy. Seemed like he was real cool. And then, you know what I'm saying? We exchanged Instagrams and everything. And um, basically, one day, something told me not to go up there. All right. Now, I had to go up there because I had one of the manager of the interns. I had her camera in my bag. I mean, my car. So I had to go up there and return her camera. So when I got up there, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get in there, give her a camera, and then dip. So I went in there, boom, 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 dipped out. Okay. Later on that night, there was a shooting, and you know what I'm saying. One of the dudes up there got shot. Police raided. You know what I'm saying. They found hella shit, you know what I'm saying? Confiscated hella shit. So the studio was over with, okay? That shit was over with, all right? So at that point, it confirmed to me. I was like, okay, my intuition is on point, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew not to go there that night, you know what I'm saying? Something told me not to even go there like that whole day for real. Because if I was to have been there, I was interning, so I was gonna be in the front. So when all that shit popped off, I could have been the one that would have got shot, or I could have been the one that would have went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Just by being there. You feel me? So basically, after that, I was like, okay, yeah, my intuition is dead on. So long story short, one of the producers I had met, I had ran back into him, you know what I'm saying, on some things, and like basically, I introduced him to my homeboy who I started this stuff with, you know what I'm saying, and basically, we taught him this breathing technique, and after we taught him this breathing technique, he was like, "Oh, I know some people that would be that would really be cool with y'all, that really be interested in what y'all do." Blah blah blah. I was like, he's like, "Yeah, they live, it's at the 31st floor downtown. Like all this, they got like all these exotic plants and shit." Like I'm like, "Dang, man, that sound live. Like let me see what he's talking about." So he's like, "Yeah, he let me call him up." Called him up. He was like, "Hey, I got some people, saying, kind of bring them up here." He's like, "Yeah, sure, King." Well, I was like, "All right, cool." So literally we went up to this place, and I ain't gonna mention all the extra names and details, but we got to the place, and you can't even go up there without the teller like calling the people saying, "Oh, we got so and so here. Can we send them up?" You know what I'm saying? So the crazy thing is, soon as we get there, the first person I see is Ski Mask, the Slump Guy. So Ski Mask walk in there, and he just see us, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what's up?" Dap him up and everything. He's like, "What's good, y'all?" You know what I'm saying? Chop it up. And then he went about his business. So I was like, wow, like, and mind you, like I say, I'm really trying to get in it. I'm like really stepping in the industry at this point. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is really interesting. The first person I meet, you know what I'm saying, when I walk in here is Ski Mask. All right, so we go upstairs, and We take the elevator upstairs so we get to the condo. So as soon as you walk in the condo, bro, I'm talking about it's like a gust of like it's like you walk into a portal, dog. I can't make this shit up, bro. It's like you walk into a portal. They got like incense going. They got all these exotic plants, plants that you ain't never even seen before. You know what I'm saying? In this country, like they got they got two balconies. The doors is wide open. It's like the wind is surging through the condo to the point where it's like you can almost see the wind. You know what I'm saying? And it was just real wild. I never experienced nothing like this. Like one of the first goddesses I seen when I walked in there, she had on this unicorn shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of seemed like they was just getting out some type of ritual or some shit. But I wasn't really well versed on that at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, um, basically, you know, that we walk in, they're like, you take your shoes off, you know what I'm saying? And then they're like, yo, hey, king, hey, you know, queen, because the intern manager was with me as well. And they're like, yo, hey, how y'all doing? They just so inviting, so, you know, nice, so and everything, kind hearted, whatever. So we chopping it up and everything. And one of the guys who stayed there was like, hey, do y'all know how to play chess? So it just so happened that the intern manager who I was with, too, because me, her, and you know the guy introduced us, and she was like, yeah, I know how to play. Which me in my head, I was like, nah, she don't know how to play. I'm just camping on her. You feel me? Which I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So we go down to sit at their bar, and they start playing chess. Now, mind you, this is where shit get crazy. So I'm sitting down, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, okay, I started noticing things, and I was like, it's shit that I had never seen before. You know what I'm saying? And then the way they were communicating, it was very abstract to me. So they started playing chess, and in my head, I'm like, bro, she don't know how to play chess. Since blah 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 the other. So then the dude started playing her way more aggressively. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed, I was like, dang, he playing her kind of aggressive. Like, he on her ass. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Mind you, this is the first incident. I'm like, okay, something's weird. So, you know what I'm saying? He playing her aggressively. He put his queen all the way up. He's like, all right, check. She take the queen with the pawn, and he was like, oh, and I was shocked. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So then I was like, wait, like something. I was like, oh, he's shocked. I was like, I'm shocked. So um, then it got to a point where I wanted to stand up, but I couldn't stand up, yo. It was like I wanted to get up, and I was like, I just was stuck. I was shaking. It was like, what is going on? In my head, I'm boosting these dudes. I'm like, dang, bro, these dudes is powerful. Like, I ain't never met no people like them. Like, where am I at? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm shaking over here. Like, I couldn't stand up. So, until I said the words in my head, I'm a god, as soon as I said those words in my head, all that shit just got off me and I could stand up again. It was like I was free. So I stood up and I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as I said that in my head, the people who on the spot both looked at each other. It was like something I commit, bro. It's like a movie, bro. As soon as I said I'm a god in my head, it's like all that shit just came up off me and they just looked at each other. And I went into this other room. So I went to this other room where the balcony is at. I'm sitting out here. I'm sitting down. I'm just letting the air flowing through. I'm just breathing. I'm like, damn, this some good ass air we breathing up here. So the one of the other people who stayed there, he was sitting on the couch and he was sitting on the couch in the living room in a whole nother room and just yelled out loud, "This show is some good air we breathing up here, huh?" So in my head, I'm like, okay, that's weird. But then, you know, I'm a scientist, bro. So I'm like, let me test this hypothesis. You know what I'm saying? What's really going on? So I get up and I walk into the other room and I stood behind him to where like, you know, he didn't really see me. And so then I thought something else and he said it. Then I thought something else, and he said it. He was like, it sure does seem like somebody just reading minds up here or something. Like nobody else know what the fuck he talking about except me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as soon as he said that, I walked up to him and I was like, yo, we got a link, you know, and I was like, we got a link, we got to chop it up. He was like, yeah, sure, King, you know, we're definitely going to link up, blah, blah, blah. So not soon after that, we had to dip, okay? This is the first interaction with these people, all right? Now, mind you, I go to the crib and I'm just reflecting on all this because the person I was with had no idea all that stuff was going on. It was really just me. And I was like, bruh, I was like, bro, I've never had no telepathic conversation where somebody can just read my mind like that. And at that point, I was like, damn, I gotta watch what I'm thinking when I'm up there, cause I never experienced nothing like that. All right, so that was the first interaction, okay, and damn, we already at 20 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to tell y'all the whole story. I gotta probably split up in parts, but long story short,